The Vernier DataQuest application is one of the 7 main applications available on the TI-Nspire handheld or TI-Nspire software. By simply, let's choose a new document, by simply plugging in either a TI-Nspire Lab Cradle, an Easy Link, an Easy Temp, or a CBR2, the Vernier DataQuest application is launched. I've plugged in a force probe, more specifically a hand dynamometer, and let's take a look at what menu options we have available. There's menu, there's a new experiment, there's the set up the sensor. So with this one, it might be a good idea to zero it. Notice that it's easy to change the units from newtons to pounds to kilograms. Alright, I'll do pounds, and still wanted to zero it. Menu, setting up the sensor, let's zero this. Right click is also available. Let's demonstrate that. If you were to right click in this meter, then there is the calibrate, all the things that you would want to do in that context. So let's zero the sensor, and it's pretty close to zero. Oh, good, look at that. Alright, so I'm going to let me demonstrate this. Here is the graph view, here is the table view, and let's just go back to the meter and demonstrate what happens if we press the green, what looks like the play button or the start collection icon. So if we, I'm going to go ahead and squeeze with my left hand, and let's start collecting the data. And then I will switch to my right hand, switching to the right hand, and it recalibrates. If I can get stronger than the 100 newton or pounds, let's use 2 hands. There you go. You can see it recalibrating, auto scaling, and we'll stop. Alright, let's take a look at some of the powerful things we can do with this data collection and analysis tool. There's analyze, and if we wanted to analyze the graph, there is the doing a tangent line if that was of interest. There's the integral, which interestingly this one is of interest in a calculus class. We could find the average by doing the integral. Speaking of finding the average, we could just do some statistics and find the average. Let's go ahead and do that. But while we're here, I'll point out to you that there's also ways that you can draw prediction, do a curve fit, all sorts of curve fits. So this is where you can do your regressions. So let's take a look at the mean, the statistics. The average value for that entire time was 72 pounds. If I were to grab this little piece right here, then we could see that the average was 59.2 for the left hand. And let's take this and move this over here and see what it is approximately here for the right hand. So I could grab it initially. So here, let's do this for the 2 hands, and I'll do the statistics again. Menu, analyze, statistics, and there it did it for that 12 sample points, and we can see that the average was 113 pounds when using the 2 hands. So here's the statistics for the first one that I ran here in this portion. Here's the statistics for the second one. Let's take a look at some other things you can do. So let's say you've already collected some data and you wanted to share this with the students. You can menu, experiment, replay. So you've collected some data and you want to see it again. So let's play it back. And we can see that the object moved closer to the wall, further away from the wall, from that reflecting surface. This was collected with a motion detector, CBR2. And let's do another example. You can stop and pause it and step it through, or stop doing this playback altogether. Let's take a look at what happens if we store that data and we decide that we want to have more than one sensor plugged in at the same time, like the force and a motion detector. as you push something and how it moves, then what happens when we plug in another sensor. We have the force and the motion. And let's see, I'll go ahead and even plug in a temperature probe if I had one more spot to put it. And let's take a look. I can. So you're limited, I think, only by the number of USB ports you have. And let's see if I can get one more going. So we'll get temperature, light sensor. There we go. Force. Is the motion still working? And do we have the light sensor to get the temperature probe plugged in? And let's turn on the light and see what happens to the light sensor. Look at that, a lot brighter on it. And the force, if I were to squeeze it so you can see that you can get, there we go, got the temperature probe going, automatically detected it. And so you can collect all kinds of data, and let's start collecting the data all here at the same time. And it's showing just the force right now, and that's because we did that last time. We'll stop that collection. Let's do a new experiment. New experiment. Yes. And so here we can view all the data that's being collected. Start collecting force, temperature, and you can have more things on there. The light level, look at that. It's got the temperature. By looking at the menu and the graph, you can see what is on the Y column. For graph 2, we can choose to have several things on there. By choosing more, you can check what things you want to have showing up there. Click, click. OK. And so several things being graphed all at the same time. Alright, let's end this show here for data collection with the Vernier DataQuest.